So we have some crazy news coming out for XRP and the cryptocurrency market, but it's not affecting the price of XRP positively. And I know it's getting you guys a little bit frustrated. So I want to discuss what the news is, everything that you need to know about what's been happening recently with XRP and the crypto market, plus why I don't think the price has gone up or benefited from this news just yet. With that said, please remember that nothing in the video is financial advice. And if you do want to be updated with the market every single day and you want to get both sides of the coin, we don't focus on only bullish news for XRP or only bearish news. We talk about both. We talk about taking profits, and we take a little bit of a different approach to most other people I see here on YouTube. So if you like a little bit of a breath of fresh air, I would absolutely appreciate it and love it if you guys could hit that subscribe button. That's all I ask in return, and let's jump straight into it. So we can see right now the price of XRP, $2.28. It's basically where it's been for the last couple of weeks after having this big push to the upside to about $2.65. But since our real local top at about $3.40, it hasn't really done much. And I see people getting frustrated down there in the comment section, and we get such good news and nothing really happens with the price. But guys, right now, zooming out from XRP and looking at the crypto market, we do have Bitcoin also having recently put in its local high. Now, we are still above 100K, but we do seem to be pulling back a little bit. So the market needs to digest where Bitcoin is ending up right now. I think right now the market's a little bit worried about what might happen with Bitcoin, but as we can see here, there is somewhat of a potential bull flag forming. It's too early, in my opinion, to call that yet, but similar to what we had here, and then another massive breakout could be what's forming for Bitcoin right now. But because it's looking a little bit uncertain, we also have the overall stock market. It's not being uncertain or not positive right now, but there is a little bit of macro uncertainty. So I think we need to just clear that up, and then we're going to give altcoins hopefully a chance to move. So as Bitcoin's price pushes downwards, it still affects the price of XRP and the price of our other altcoins that I'm trading personally, like Solana, Ethereum, XRP, and Sui, and whatever else you guys hold. Now, in my opinion, this is the time to be patient. This is not the time to be giving up. This is the time to be bolstering our positions, or at least thinking. This is the time to be considering what we want to do and how we want to position ourselves. There may very well be a breakout that happens any minute now, or it might take much longer than anyone is expecting. So position yourself accordingly to what you think is going to come next, and be patient, guys. That's what I think is most important in this market. Now, look at this news, right? On one side, we have Hyperscale Data, a public company and a subsidiary of Audit Capital Group, will purchase up to $10 million of XRP for its balance sheet, focused on expansion of its financial services business. So this is a pretty This is pretty big news here. Companies now starting to buy XRP for their balance sheet. We do also have this, which is absolutely wild news, and you would expect this to affect the price a little bit more than it has, but I think as time goes on, as the market digests this, as Bitcoin maybe becomes a little bit more stable above maybe 100K, we could start to see people starting to digest this sort of news and it actually being a catalyst, right? So we have Vivo Power raises 121 million to launch an XRP treasury strategy with Saudi royal backing. This happened, look at this, the Saudi prince, per his own quote, met with President Trump and decided the timing was right for, he said, crypto and Bitcoin. He said crypto, right? Having met with President Trump and his leadership group during their recent visit to Saudi Arabia, we believe the timing is appropriate for digital assets and blockchain technology to be rolled out in the kingdom. And this is what we're seeing here, even with confirmation from Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, confirming the NASDAQ-listed energy firm aims to be the first public company with an XRP focus, with ex-SBI Ripple Asia executive joining as chairman of the advisory board. So this is absolutely massive. And guys, this sort of news, 121 million, right? This is not the kind of thing that it's like a buy and it's going to push the price up. No, this is the kind of thing that gets retail and new people excited about the market again. So that's what we're seeing. The market's heating up again. Bitcoin's close to all-time highs. We see some stability there. We see people starting to focus. They come in, they find Bitcoin, they think it's too expensive because they don't really understand how different things work. And then they go and find other cryptos. They come across Ethereum, it's too expensive. Then they land on XRP. They understand the business model because it's relatively easy to understand, whereas whereas something like Bitcoin might be a little bit more difficult to understand or something like that, right? I'm not trying to detract from what XRP is doing, but this is the mindset of a new investor. So a lot of new investors I come across, they're very bullish on XRP because it's a very clear and easy to understand strategy and business model. So I think it's really good, and I think that's really bullish, and it can potentially make me profits by trading the potential positive price action. So with that said, if we do take a look at the overall market like Bitcoin, I did just speak about this on the main channel, but I think right now there may be a little bit of manipulation happening in order to get rid of this massive whale trader we've been looking at. So his liquidation price is $106,450, which is just a couple of $100 off the price Bitcoin's at right now. You couple that with the liquidation map, you can see there's almost $20 billion of longs in this market. Basically, that shows us that the majority of the market is expecting a push to the upside. In my opinion and in my experience, every time we see something like this, we do see massive volatility because people trade with not like me 3x, they trade with 50x and 40x, like this trade of 40x. This is like a 2.5% move against you and then you're liquidated, which is absolutely wild with this sort of money. And that's why I like to stay away from it. We can't really fall prey to the short-term manipulation. And if you don't even want to be able to fall prey, just stick with the spot market, right? If you do want to trade on the spot market or the leverage market, however, whatever fits in with your strategy, we have a link to Blowfin down there in the description. As I'm sure you guys are aware, I'm copy trading over on Blowfin at the moment with my own personal cash that I've put into this opportunity, and we'll have to wait to see what happens here as time goes on, right? But if you do want to check this out, every single day right now it seems to be trading Ethereum on a grid trading method, and then it also has the longer term trades for the Bitcoin positions that are opening right now that are still in profit here, but of course with the pullback we're not in as much profit as we were before. So that's my my test that I'm doing right now. But if you're not interested in that, that's fine. Blowfin is no KYC, no VPN. You can trade from anywhere in the world, and you can trade on the spot market or the futures market with the links down there in the description. Now, we have BlackRock buying $3.2 billion of Bitcoin in 7 days. We have wallets with 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin quietly adding 122,000 Bitcoin in the last 6 weeks. And what does this tell you right now? The big players are accumulating, right, while others are panicking. We've had short-term panic as we speak and longer-term panic right here. And all the while, the bigger traders, the more experienced investors have been accumulating. Of course, we don't know that for sure. Maybe they're dumping in other wallets. But this data shows to me that whales are still accumulating, even though there is fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market. But I believe that Bitcoin is still extremely bullish, and I believe if that continues, that will overflow into the altcoins that aren't really seeing that much of the limelight right now. But one thing I want to remind you guys, right? I get a lot of comments of people saying XRP does nothing. There's a lot of stuff like that. Like XRP does nothing. It's going to continue to do nothing. This guy's talking absolutely rubbish. Guys, if you're saying something like that, you fundamentally are proving you don't understand how crypto works. And you also have only maybe got into the market in the last couple of months, couple of weeks, couple of days, or you just don't know how to look at a chart. Because if we look at this chart, right, November 24, this was, let's call it 6 months ago. The price from there to now, it's up 340%. 340%. And we have people commenting, look, the high was 570%. And we have people commenting saying XRP never does anything. In the course of the last 6 months, XRP has gone up almost 600%, guys. And as it sits right now, over 300%. This is not nothing. If that is nothing, you're probably a little bit too used to insane meme coin gains, and the likelihood is most people don't actually make money from that, right? It's the exception to the rule that makes money, and then most people are left on the sidelines. That's what we saw in the Solana meme season, and that's what we'll probably see again once the altcoins go crazy. I'm looking for 300 to 600% moves. That's the kind of thing I'm after, and I will be taking profits along the way. So if you want to see that, you want to see a little bit of a different opinion on the market, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. And if you did want an exchange to check out, guys, Blowfin is giving away XRP rewards to this community. So the links for that are in the description. Remember, you don't need to provide any personal details to trade on Blowfin right now, but you do need to provide your time to research the platform and figure out whether or not it's something for you. So I'll leave the links down there in the description. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are the real OGs, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.